guys, I just wanted to do a video showing my collection. I said I was going to do that previously, and I think they're pretty awesome, so I thought I'd share. This is my living room here. So you see we're in the living room. These are the only dolls I have displayed in the living room. These are the two of the four little people soft sculpture Cabbage Patch Kids I got from Babyland yesterday, which I love them. That was my first ever order to get from Babyland in Georgia directly. And then here we have a cabbage head that, to my understanding, these were for display purposes and were not sold to the public, but then later, I guess after they were no longer being used for display purposes, a lot of them ended up on eBay, and that's where I got mine. We have a couple of my vintage soft sculptures that started it all. The ones that were being made before the Coleco craze, even though I think these particular ones were made after Coleco started, but these were the original dolls. Not the very first prototypes that Xavier Roberts originally made. I think there were some other ones before, but these are what I always think of for what started it. So there's the vintage ones. Now these are the only ones I have in my living room because I just don't want to look like a complete crazy doll lady, even though I kind of am. So you can see even here on my table, I have diapers to put on my dolls. So yes, I love dolls. I'm mainly the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls. Over here in my dining room, I have my piano here, and I have this beautiful vintage soft sculpture girl. I named her Stephanie Lynn. She didn't come with a name or papers, as many of the ones I have don't. I get a lot of good deals of dolls. I just wanted my collection. I'm not trying to get them for the value or to resell them, just for the way they look, because they're adorable. And I named her after actually my favorite singer, Stevie Nicks, who her original name is Stephanie Lynn. So I always find a way to pick the names that mean something special to me. And you know, Stevie Nicks, usually she's known for the blonde hair and brown eyes. So my silly little thing. So she's adorable. Over here by my front door, we have where I do my unboxings. I apologize, you can hear my birds up there. They're quite noisy right now, but these are the twin vintage soft sculptures that came in my Cabbie mail today. So they're adorable. They got delayed in shipment. Came in a crushed box. I was really worried to open them, but they look beautiful. And they're really very clean, good condition for how old they are. And they really didn't even need to go in the washing machine. I'm just gonna put a little Febreze on these girlies, change their diapers, and call it a day. Here we have the name tag for another girl I got in the mail today, one of the Kid for All Seasons, the winter one, Crystal, and she is in the washing machine right now, along with the blonde Coleco paci girl with the lemon loops, and she's adorable. So they're gonna come out all cleaned up and beautiful. My bath camp here in my house, just like they call it at Babyland General, bath camp. Now up here, you can see some more dolls I have displayed in my hallway, in my upstairs. So these are more soft sculptures on the top and the bottom that I think are adorable. And I'm gonna go over by these birds because maybe they'll be quiet. Let me see, we have some more over here as well. These are where my Kid for All Season dolls will go. You can see their tag. This is Sunny for summer. We have Morton for spring. And down here I'll have my Autumn and my winter doll, Autumn Crystal. You see my bunny bees. The bunny bees are part of the Cabbage Patch legend, spreading that magic on the Cabbage Patch. And we see a Cabbage Patch Kid vintage lunchbox, which this was not mine, but I did get it on eBay. I thought it was pretty cool. The birds are not really being quiet. Good performing baby. All right, so over here we have, again, I have a 1989 Easter edition girl, and then I think this is a Lapis edition swimsuit girl. she's got freckles and blue eyes. This one has green eyes, but other than that, they're kind of like twinsies. Same hairstyle, they're pretty cute together. We have a couple Coleco beauties here. I even make them little name tags if they don't come with names. I give them names and make them name tags. And these name tags originally came with many of the vintage soft sculptures, so I just kind of make my own version of that. It's not something that came with the Coleco kids when they, you know, came out or anything, but I like to give them little name tags. So this one, these two were not part of my childhood collection. This one I got a few years back on eBay. I've had her in my collection for a bit. This one is very recent. I think she's adorable. So we see she's the number 3 head mold, I believe. We have a paci number 4 head mold right here. Just so cute. And then up here, you know, a couple more soft sculptures. This little girl I thought was Autumn from the A Kid for All Seasons collection for the longest time. I thought she just didn't come with her original outfit, because I think that's what the person told me, honestly, years ago. I've had her like 20 years. And then I realized Autumn has green eyes and my girl has blue eyes. So I was like, darn. So now I had to order the actual Autumn. So she's on her way to my house right now. But when I went to change this girl's clothes, I realized how special she is in her own way, guys, because after having her for 20 years, I didn't even realize, but this girl doesn't just have the signature stamp. She's got the actual signature. She's a signed doll by Xavier Roberts. So she's pretty special in her own way, even though she's looking all messy. I'll have to fix her hair and bows later. Look at her. So that's these babies. Next, I'm gonna take you guys into my bedroom where I have a lot more dolls. This is where I have a baby coming that's gonna go in there, a vintage one, soft sculpture. But I have some right in here when you come in the door. We have some soft sculpture preemies. This girl, I can't remember her edition. She might have been Ruby edition. She's a smaller size than the regular soft sculptures, but she is soft sculpture also, like the preemies, so she's like the same size as them. And she's like a Valentine's edition or something. And then I have a couple of adorable soft sculpture vintage boys. This was one of my childhood dolls. This was my second Cabbage Patch Kid ever, my first boy. And I call him Davy. His name was Irvin David. As you can see, I put on his name tag, Irvin David, but I always called him Davy, so I call him Davy still. This little guy I got later. You know, I've had him a couple years now at least. Got him later on eBay, and I named him Otis Lee after the character in the Cabbage Patch books and cassette stories that they had back in the day when I was a kid, a little Otis Lee. And then we have some more of my beautiful soft sculpture girls with braids. And this girl, I think she was 10th anniversary edition. I'm not sure what company she was made by. Could have been Mattel, Hasbro, I'm not sure. This one is a crossover when Hasbro was taking over the company from Coleco. I believe when I bought him, because I am his original owner, and I bought him when I was like a teenager, early teens probably, like 13 maybe, and so I thought he was in a Hasbro box, so I always thought of him as a Hasbro kid, and I don't really cherish my Hasbro as much as my Coleco, the original mass market kids, so I never really wanted to display him, and then I found out he's kind of special because he's considered a crossover kid, which has body parts from both companies, kind of. So his tags actually say Coleco, even though I think I got him in a Hasbro box, which is kind of weird. So that was that kind of late 80s, maybe 89 crossover period. And he's a little cutie. And I named him Oliver James now because I couldn't remember his name, but I think his name might have been Corbin because it started to come back to me later. We have a couple of my favorite soft sculpture vintage girls over here in this little antique carriage that I found at an antique store, and they're adorable too. I love the popcorn girls always, so that's cute. And then this is my only soft sculpture paci girl, which at the time I got her, maybe she was like between $1 and $150 on eBay years ago, maybe 20 years ago. But now lately, if you've been watching, they they go for like $600 or something for the paci soft sculpture vintage kids. So, and hers is a removable paci, because some of them they were not removable, but hers is. She's just adorable. I love her. And then we have this baby right here too, guys. So cute. She's without ears, so that's before the new ears edition came out, before they put ears on them, the bald ones. And they might not even have had ears on these guys. I think they have ears. I never really pay attention on the soft sculpture big ones. I'll have to check it out. But anyway, here's some more of my favorite soft sculptures. I love Popcorn Girl up there, and the redheads. I love the redheads. That one has this shorter little popcorn style on the top, brunette. This was a really recent doll that I got. I just loved her chubby face. Love her. And this special girl right here, this is Gigi Brenna, Coleco Kid. This was my first Cabbage Patch Kid that I got. She didn't make it in time for Christmas, but she did come. I think it was a couple of months later. I'm not sure exactly, because time goes by weird, kind of slow when you're a kid. But it was probably a couple months after Christmas, and my best little friend in the neighborhood, who's a couple years younger than me, I'd play with her all the time. She lived right down the road, and she got her Cabbage Patch Kid, who looked just like this girl, which they almost look the same, but you can see there's a little difference. Hers was Olivia. She looked just like that, and she got hers. I didn't get one. I got like a knockoff one that didn't really look much like a Cabbage Patch Kid, but it was cute, but it was different. And then her dad worked at the local all-purpose hardware toy store, and when they got a shipment in, he let my mom know, and we rushed down there. They had 5 Cabbage Patch Kids in the back room, and I picked Gigi. She was my very special first girl, and I think she still looks beautiful for her age. I love her. So she's there forever. Now, I found this girl on eBay after, and I saw she looked just like my friend's Cabbage Patch Kid. I was like, Gigi needs her Olivia. They used to always play together when Michelle, my friend, and I would play together, and so I thought, well, she needs her little buddy back again. So here's one of my babies that you might have seen in my unboxing from Babyland yesterday. She's beautiful, Genesis Lynette. And this is really cool because this was a 15th anniversary reproduction. This is not a Coleco, but it is made to look like the Coleco box and the Coleco Kids. That started it all with the mass market craze, and but she's actually made by Mattel, and she's a 15th anniversary, so she's never been opened out of the box. I've left her in there since I got her. And then down here I do have another one I never took out of the box. I bought myself when she was in the stores, which is the Millennium Celebration, which came out in 2000. She was born January 1st, 2000. Her name is Glenda Dale. And Dale is my mom and sister's middle name. And then I have some original Coleco clothing boxes here. I actually bought some outfits off of eBay for my Coleco kids that I loved. They were in these boxes still, so I saved the boxes because I thought they were so cool. So that's my bedroom. You can see I've got a lot, guys. But now we'll go to my favorite doll room in my house, which is my online teaching classroom, because I am a teacher. And so I decided to make my dream of having a doll room come true in my home online classroom, because I always worked outside of the home, but I did lose my job of 8 years during the pandemic when they had to make cuts after we'd been home for a long time and paid, and then they had to make cuts when we came back. So this is my favorite room now, because I decided to make it my doll room. So when I sit here working, doing my Zoom classes with the kids, I get to look at all of these great, beautiful Cabbage Patch Kids. So we have some of my class pictures when I was teaching in the schools on the wall, which is cool. And here, some of my prized. I have the collection of Coleco. I got her recently. Up at the top, we have from the top left a 1985, still in box, AA girl, as they call it, the African American girls, with the number 9 head mold, which is not too easy to find, not that common. Beautiful preemie girl. And this boy I recently got, who has his little crayon that he can hold in his hand, and he think that's a 15 head mold. I've been watching the videos from Dee's Cabbies and Vintage Toys, trying to really study up and remember my head molds. So I love her channel. But check out that little cutie, he's so cute. And then down here we have more of my adorable soft sculptures. The red hair boy I got recently. I've had this girl quite a bit longer. And I named them both. No, he actually came with his name, Franklin Glenn, and he came with his papers. This girl I had to name. We have another display, Cabbage Head, and I got him also on eBay, an AA one. And another girl I got recently with popcorn curls, the auburn color. She came with her papers. That is Inez Luisa. And then this girl was on eBay. Oh my gosh, I got her pretty cheap. She was in rough shape. She came with this dress, but she was filthy. She was in rough shape. She had stains by her mouth all over her body. Her butt was unsewn. I had to restitch her booty, and I bought her these shoes because she didn't come with shoes and socks. Real baby shoes. They're so cute. And she looks like a brand new doll now. She looks just beautiful. So I saved that little girl and I love her. She's adorable. These are just some of my stuffed animals I've acquired over the years that have special meaning behind them. So they were usually gifts of some sort. And that bunny was made on the Native American reservation where I used to work, by the Native ladies at the Elder Center. So that's very beautiful too. For Easter they would make those and sell them. Here we have, this cutie is a true baby, which is short for Toys R Us edition. They were making the Cabbage Patch Kids for a couple years, to a few years, 2 or 3 I think. And this was the 20th anniversary kid, and I chose this one, and she's so cute. She's got that number 19 head mold that is very coveted with collectors, and I didn't even realize till recently. I was like, oh my gosh, Raimi has that. And I call her Raimi, short for Rachel Marie, named after one of the famous characters in the Cabbage Patch books and cassette stories. So I love her. Got my gizmo there. So I was an 80s kid, right? Up here we have some more of my inbox babies. I have a 1984 boy. His name is Alden Johnny, still in his box, in a little sailor suit. My doll Davy, I showed you, that was my second Cabbage Patch Kid, my first boy in the other room. He originally came in a sailor suit. I don't know what happened to it, but that's what he originally came in. It was with navy blue. And then we have a corn silk. I don't have my original childhood blonde corn silk anymore, but I got this one recently, very cheaply, I would say. She looks adorable. She's a little musty. I washed her, but her hair is a little musty, so I don't know if she, I don't know what she's got going on. I almost was going to give her to Goodwill, but I didn't have the heart to do it. I even had her in the bag ready to take her away. And then I said, you know what, I'll just put a little more Febreze on her and stick her on the top shelf with the box babies so she can't stink them up, and she could stay away from me. She's cute to look at, but she has a little odor. She's not terrible, but I don't know. I'm very sensitive to smells. That's why I wash most of my vintage kids that I get. We have this beautiful Jesmar. This is marketed for the Italian consumers, I guess. So Jesmars were made in Spain. They mainly produced the Cabbage Patch Kids for during the 80s craze for European countries, and you'll see a lot of them if they're in boxes with the language for that country. So these were ones that were made for Italy. And this guy is so cute with this little paci. I just love him. I can't see his name because their adoption papers are a little different. They don't have a window with their name. They're like a closed envelope, and I don't want to really open it. I don't know if you got to pick your own name or if there is a name in there for him, but he's so cute. I have another preemie girl I got by accident. I ordered a different doll in box. I got her for like $10 on an auction on eBay plus shipping. In box, it was going to be an adult, not adult, but a kid size Cabbage Patch Kid, you know, like maybe like that one, you know, or something like that. But I got a preemie instead in the mail, so I let the lady know, the seller, and I said, I'll just keep her. She's cute. It's fine. I wasn't really like dying to get the other doll. It was just like she was $10 and I want her, so I was like, I'll take the preemie instead. It's fine. Here's another Italian. Well, a Jesmar, so made in Spain, but this one was marketed for Italy, and the Italian writing on the box. So cute. And a beautiful AA boy, another little sailor outfit in his box still. Down here, I have one of my babies that were in the unboxing video from Babyland yesterday. My only order I ever got from Babyland General in Georgia. All my other babies, most of them, if they weren't my childhood kids, then I got them on eBay or other kind of seller sites, but this was my first and only order so far from Babyland General in Georgia directly, so that was so exciting for me. So I did that unboxing video yesterday, if you want to check it out. But this is Olivia Danielle. That was the name she came with, and so when I saw she was a redhead with the name Olivia, like my friend's childhood Cabbage Patch, I just had to have her. And she's just such a little cutie. Look at those shoes, guys. Look at that. That is just so cool. They could possibly be on the wrong feet now that I'm looking at them closely, because they're constantly falling off them, and I'm like throwing them back on quickly when I'm moving them around. But she's so cute. And that is one of the newer hand-stitched soft sculptures that they sell on the Babyland General or CabbagePatch.com website, or you can get them at Babyland General in Georgia. You see my Care Bears. These are the old Care Bears like they had when I was a kid. I had these, at least I had one of them. I think I might have had Cheer, and my cousin had the one with the hearts, but I don't know what happened to them either. So I bought them on eBay years later, but I've had them a long time now, these. This little boy is an interesting case here. If you take a look at him, it looks like his skin is a light-skinned African-American boy with beautiful blue eyes, but he's got a white body. And so I got him in box like this for only like $20 from a fellow collector, and I thought he was so cool because I was like, is it a factory defect? What is this? But his face is beautiful with those blue eyes and that darker skin. And then in one of the collector groups, I posted his picture, and they said this is called baked potato. Apparently, when you store these kids over the years in high temperatures, in heat, they can, the vinyl in the head can, I guess, get a beautiful tan, but of course the body made out of cloth will not. So that's how he looks. So I don't know. Part of me says I could put like a knit outfit on him with a hat and mittens and pants, and you wouldn't even know. You would just think he's this beautiful, light-skinned African-American boy with these gorgeous blue eyes. But I think it's kind of cool to see that his head does not match his body. Like, that's an oddball kid, and that's unique. And that's what it says about the Cabbage Patch Kids, right? I'm one of a kind. And so he definitely is one of a kind. Over here we have this gorgeous girl. Love her. I got her from that fellow collector recently too. This is a Taiwan girl. I love the Taiwan kids. Their skin looks so good to me. The complexion, not skin, but the complexion on their face, it almost looks porcelain to me sometimes. And so she is in great condition. She's in her young astronaut outfit. She's the young astronaut edition. And so this is also by Coleco. She's got that tongue sticking out. That head mold is escaping me. It could be 10. I don't know. I might be off with that one. I'm trying to really commit these to memory, but I'm new with trying to remember head molds past number 4. So anyway, here's this beauty. She's actually also unique because she's got the lion mane hairdo, which is very rare. She's got ponytails. They're all thrown up in her helmet, but you can see around her face, she doesn't have the loop. She's got like a shag, and that's like called the lion mane do, and she's so pretty. I just love her. And then over here, we have some more soft sculptures. These are my Christmas edition nutcrackers. I got them in the last couple of months. I'll put them probably downstairs at Christmas time, but they're just beautiful, in great condition. Down here we have 2 of my childhood Cabbage Patch Kids. So this girl, I don't remember her name. I can't believe I don't remember her name. I used to play with her all the time. I think my one picture I have of myself with the Cabbage Patch Kid is with her. And I was out in the snow with my winter coat and bundled all up and hat on. And I was holding her out there in the snow. I still had my Cabbage Patch Kid. And I can't believe I can't remember her name. I'm sure it's going to come back to me. But for now, I named her Isabella Audrey. And then this cutie was also a childhood kid of mine. Her name is Annie, She's unique because she's like a poodle pony girl, meaning she's got the ponies and the curls on the top. Okay, but she's got like shag in the immediate front, like bangs, and I don't know if I did that to her or if she was made like that, because I do not remember doing that, and I'm her only owner, her original owner, so I don't know. If she didn't come from the factory like that, then I must have done it, but I can't remember right now. And she's just adorable too. I named her Mandy Ann on the tag, but I always called her Annie. I think Ann was her middle name when I first got her, and I didn't like her first name, so I called her Annie. Like I did with Irvin David, I called him Davy. This is the Irish Edition soft sculpture from the 80s. I don't have the girl that went with him, but I do have this girl, and I thought she looked kind of Irish with her little green eyes, freckles, and red hair, so I put her with him, and I named her as well, Shannon Christie. This Kusa is just like the Kusa I had as a kid, which I don't know what happened to that one either. Mine was a boy though. It had that little, like, the blue overall thing with the rainbow suspenders. It was very cute. This one came with the dress, so this is like a girl version of the one I had as a kid. But the doll itself was a twin. The Kusa doll was exactly this one with the stripes and everything. All right. And by the way, this girl, she's a PMI. So the P and PMI kids, they're prone to pox in the head, which is a fungus that can grow inside the head and make it look almost like they've got chicken pox. So she's doing pretty well, but I do think she might have one right there, which is heartbreaking to me to think that she has a pox. But some of the kids, you'll see it's all over their faces. They're just ruined, and some of the collectors really go all out trying to fix them with, I think, the Oxy cream and taking their heads off, but I couldn't imagine doing all that. But I would not want to have to throw her out, but she's adorable. She looks pretty good. Now this kid, I usually don't buy any P or PMI factory kids anymore now that I know that they're prone to that pox condition. But this one is a PMI, and I really looked at the pictures, and the seller really stated that her complexion was perfect, and she does look really good. I just thought her eyes were so unique and beautiful. I know I've seen a few kids like this with the eyes that are kind of like violet gray almost, and she's so cute. So I loved her. I named her Violet Pearl. Took a chance on her. I'm hoping that she and my two PMI girls, will hold up okay. I don't think I have any. I might have P kids. I might have a couple. I don't know. I just got a bunch down here, so I'm not sure, but I try to avoid them. This cutie I got recently from a guy selling them out of a hardware store for his aunt, who's trying to sell off her collection. She is just adorable. She is the number 8 head mold, I believe. I hope I'm saying most of the right head molds here as I'm throwing them out. That is able to wear the glasses. So she's so cute in 1985 in her box with her little jogging suit. This girl is prized to me, very recent acquisition. She's my first Jesmar, because right after I got her, I found these Italian Jesmars in the box. But right before that, I got her, and she's so beautiful. Jesmars are known for their freckles, for one thing. They often have freckles. The two boys up there in the boxes don't, but she does. Often, too, with the Jesmars, their eyes are often painted a little bit higher up in the socket. I don't notice that so much with her, though. But she's so beautiful. I just love her. I named her Sophia Riley. And this is one of the dresses I got in the original Coleco boxes I showed earlier in the video in my cabinet in my bedroom. This is one of the dresses. I remember this dress being kind of like an iconic dress that a lot of the Cabbage Patch Kids loved, that I just loved the dress when I was a kid, and I don't think I had it for my kids. I think my friend had it. So when I saw it, I was like, I have to get that dress, and I'm putting it on my prized girl, my Jesmar. So she's gorgeous. Down here, we have school in session with all these kiddos. So these are pretty recent. I got most of these from one person, but not all of them. I got this kiddo. You see his eyes are kind of crazy looking. He's the African, I don't remember what it's called, but from the African factory that made them, kind of like Jesmars for Spain. This was the African company version, so I don't remember what they were called, but these kids are kind of hard to come by. You don't see them too often, and this guy sold him to me for only like $15. His eyes are creepy looking and it looks like somebody might have put clear nail polish over them to preserve them, because the eyes are known to wear off on these kids and cloud up pretty badly. So, but I wanted him just for the sake of him being that special African company kiddo. This girl, I just threw some glasses on her myself. She's just so cute, and I call her Sybil Sadie after the kid in the stories, the Cabbage Patch stories and cassettes. And then she's got her little doll that I've had that for a while. I recently just found it in my boxes in the garage, and I took her out and I said, that looks like it could be her little mini me baby doll. This one and this one I just got new in box, but the boxes were damaged pretty badly, so I decided to let them come out. So they're in like brand new condition. They are just pristine and they are gorgeous. I did wash their clothes because they were kind of dusty because those boxes were damaged and the dust got in. But I didn't wash the dolls because they're just so like new. I just kind of shook them off, dusted them off, and they seemed in really great condition. This girl I think is so adorable, and I have seen a twin of her pretty much on the Dee's Cabbie and Vintage Toys channel, and I thought she was so cute. So when this guy had her, selling her for just a few bucks, I was like, I've got to get her. She's so cute, because I didn't have any with the head mold for this paci head mold, which I think is a number 6. And it's got the chubbier face. You can see this is the number 4 paci head mold, and the number 6 has the chubbier cheeks and the 1 dimple instead of 2. And so she's a lemon loop girl. I mean, she's just so adorable. She was dirty. Her face had marks on it. She was in rough shape. She had very fuzzy hair. I had to give her like trim off all that fuzz, wash her. She went through the washing machine. Now she just looks so pretty. And I thought this kid was cute too, because I knew this was a head mold I didn't have. I don't remember the number of this head mold, but I know I remember hearing that it's called the potato face or potato head or something, because it's like the chubbiest one, I believe. And I think he is so cute. Now he's got a New York Mets hat that he came with, so I think he used to originally have a New York Mets uniform, which he didn't come with, but that's okay. I just like that too, because I'm from New Jersey, so the New York teams, you know, kind of pull at the heartstrings. These girls, my daughter calls the twins. They were kind of TLC babies. They were in pretty rough shape. I had to trim up their hair a lot. They went through the washing machine. I had to dress them up nicely. Now they look beautiful. So cute. And this one here, she still has a couple of shiny spots on her face I have to tend to, but she's looking really good compared to how she came in. And I think she's so adorable. She's a twin of one of my other childhood friends, Cabbage Patch Kid, so that's just awesome. And then we have this one. She is a Hasbro kid. I don't usually collect them, but she's got that coveted number 19 head mold face. So I saw her there for not too much at this one collector's house again where I was, and I said I'll take her too. She's so cute. And she's got like pretty violet eyes, guys. Look at that. And then this creepy little dude, that little doll, was a free gift I got in a package from an eBay seller. Very sweet. He threw that in there, so that was awesome. But my daughter says he looks scary, so I let it be one of my baby's baby dolls. So yes, I mean, this is a lot of dolls, I know. Let me see if I can get up, getting old. But I'm gonna just kind of pan around the room. This again is my online teaching classroom. This is where I get to work from home every day, and I get to look at all of these beautiful babies in here. And as you saw, I still have a lot more around the rest of my house. But it's so nice to be able to look at my collection and not have all of my dolls, you know, locked up in the closet anymore. I kind of felt like when I became an adult and I got married that I had to put them away. But I'm divorced now and single again. So I said, you know what? It's just my daughter and I here. She's almost 10. She loves dolls. I love dolls. Why not put them out all over the house? So, I mean, this might be my favorite room in the house now. This is my daughter's old room. This was her old bedroom. She moved into the bigger one now, but I just love them. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for hanging in there to the end of this very long video. I didn't know it would be this long, but I do have pretty good collection, and I actually have more coming on the way. So you might see another unboxing video or two coming up. But thank you again for checking out my beautiful kiddos with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you love Cabbage Patch Kids as much as I do, which I'm sure you do if you watch this. And again, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.